How to change Toyota Celica door lock actuators and other things about Toyota Celica door lock actuators that maybe you didn't even want to know or don't need to know, but I'm going to put it in here anyway. This is the set that I ordered, and they're working fine for right now. I've only had them in there a couple days. I will put some information in the video description if they ever do fail on me. Alright, we're out here at the parts car. Removing the door panel is pretty straightforward, same as most cars. You got two caps that pop off here, screw underneath each one of these caps. There's a little plastic cover that covers over the screw right here. You can pop it out usually by just putting something in front of it, popping it right out. I haven't broke one yet trying to take them out that way. Down at the bottom of the handle, there's another screw, comes out, and then two screws right here. Everything else is just push clips, and then you'll have a wire to disconnect right here. Oh, and the two cables for the door latch and the door lock. Top one is black color, bottom one is the white one. Top one is for your door lock. Bottom one is for the latch mechanism, and they just come out of the slots like that. This little cover pops out quite easy and lands on the floor. And this panel has to be popped out right here by the mirror so that the door panel can come up as you're taking it off. And you have to have the window rolled all the way down. Makes the panel easier to pop off. There's two bolts that hold the outer door handle on. They're access to these two holes. This is the space that you have to get through to get to all that stuff. There's one of your rods, your other rod, and a bolt back there, and then there's a bolt here at the front. And then you have to kind of raise it up to clear these clips and it'll come out. I'll show you that in a minute. To take the whole lock assembly out, the inside part of it, take this bolt, this nut off of this bolt out, and these three out, and then unclip these wires from right here, and they'll feed out with the whole lock assembly. And there's an electrical connector for the power door locks. This is the plug that plugs into the electric lock, and the little squeeze lever that releases it is right there. That ends up being towards the sheet metal on the car. To get this out of the car, you have to take the bolts out that I showed in the other part. Nut off of here, bolt out of here, three bolts hold it in back here, and there's a electrical connector that goes into here that just has a squeeze to release clip right there, and it'll pull out. The funnest part is up inside of that door, trying to get these loose and figure out which way they press. This one here, as you can see, has a little bit of a lip on it. So if you just slide a scribe up along that or a screwdriver, it'll push it open, and then you'll be able to pop this out of the hole. The one that actually goes to the latch assembly pushes this way, which will be towards you, towards the inside of the car. Once that's released, then you can pull this out. Then that's loose. These two bolts come out. When you go to take the outer door handle assembly off, it has to raise up just a little bit to clear these, and then it will just raise up a little bit and it'll twist and come out, and you just have to kind of wiggle it and work it out. This bolt hole isn't used. Wasn't used on any car I've worked on so far. The outer door handle assembly does not have to be removed. I removed it on this car because I was changing out the key lock in the door handle. So, like I said, the reason I pulled this out is because the power lock's not working. I'm just swapping the whole thing out. I'm not going to buy a new power lock mechanism because I have one that I know works. Yeah, right. Used to work. Now we're buying new lock actuators. I know we started out, weren't going to replace these, but they work kind of intermittent, so I tore that one down, and now The brand new ones are here. Pull this one out of the box. Make sure that we do have one for the left and one for the right. And yep, we do. These are really pretty easy to swap out once you get the door lock assembly out. You just got to take this plastic guard off. Make sure I'm not snapping anything off. Don't lose any little screws. That screw is longer. This is a long screw, and this is a shorter screw. This goes into the plastic, this goes into sheet metal. Get that out of the way. Then it's just a simple matter of, what I do is raise this up out of here, out of the slot right here. Take that out. 2 screws. Pin goes in the small square hole, and this just has to center in that little hole right there, that square hole right there. That was easy. Two screws back in the holes, and they've got to kind of thread through the plastic here, I guess. These do not have to be super tight. Remember, they're just holding a piece of plastic on, and plastic breaks. That rod back into there. Snap that back into place, and it's ready to reinstall. Let's see what happens. You're gonna have to play with this, keep it from getting hooked on stuff as it goes in, and the push-pull rods for the door latch and the lock have to be threaded through there, but that's pretty easy to do. Once it gets up into place, that bolt will drop through and you're good. It'll hang there. Clip these guys up out of the way so they're not flopping around. All right. I'm going to stick a couple of screws in the back of the latch mechanism just to hold it in place. That'll hold that from falling. These seem to be about in the right position. Well, it looks like I'm going to use the old outer door handle after all, because the new one, or well, the new old one has cracks around the mounting boss and I don't want it to break off on me. So we're using this one. It's ugly, but it'll work. And put this in just like this. kind of bring it up to the top, and it raises up over them little clips, let it drop down, and it's in. Go around to the back side, and through these two little holes, again, we'll put the 2 bolts in that hold it in. And this is mostly done by feel. I mean, you can see in there a little bit, but I'll just start them by hand first. Make sure you use the right bolts. These bolts are very short. If you use too long of a bolt, it will break the outer door handle plastic. Second bolt is a little harder to get to, but it's fun. Always fun. A little light on the subject. I think I just lost, nope, I got it. The 10mm did not get away. Not this time. I don't know if I can get this camera up in here, but I'm going to try putting the camera in there while I line one of these up. They're not really too bad to put in. I think getting them unclipped and taken out is harder than putting them in and getting them clipped. Once you line the hole up, push it in, push that clip down, and then basically the same thing again on the lock rod. Best part of this is as I move my hand around, it gets in front of camera, light, everything, but I have to raise the lock rod up. Put it through the hole. Holy cow. I did that with the camera in the way. That clip is a lot harder to get on and off than the other clip. But anyway, there it is, clipped together. Now we just find our wire down here. Bring it down to the bottom, underneath this. And if I'm right, like I said, the push clip is towards the inside wall, or the middle of the car, and clip, there it went. Put the door panels back on and we're ready for a test. All right, we have door locks and they move quick. Before, when they'd lock and unlock, they were slow and they sounded weak, and sometimes they wouldn't lock or unlock. But now they're nice and quick, the way they should be. Hey, they're in, they work. I only locked myself out of the car one time. And now I'm going to go into the part that you probably don't need to know or don't want to know, and that's how they're put together and how they work. You can see here right where the scribe is pointing, one of the brushes is burnt completely off. That's what makes the motor stop working. And, oh, great, the door latched. Ha! I could go around the other side, but just want to show you something. I can just reach in here, that rod right there, just pick up on it, pick up on it, pick up on it, whoops, it's locked. Lift up on the lock rod, and then lift up on this rod. Or is it push down on this rod? I can never, that thing's not, wait a minute, push down on this rod, and then pull on this rod. Hell, like, there we go. Push down on it, yep. All right, that unlocks it. Ah, we get to start that one over.